listen to this word for the first time, we all get different impressions in our mind. Some may think it's a genius job, some may think it's a very great thing, some may also think it is a waste of time, and some may think it's not their cup of tea. So let me tell you, we all are researchers in one way. You may wonder how. So homemakers in our home to an established researcher in a national laboratory. We all are researchers. Let me give you one simple example. We all know pressure cooker. So we all use it in our homes. While using it, sometimes the water comes out. So our housewives or our mom, what they do is they just apply oil, they try running water through it, or they just stretch the ring and they try to get some solution. So here they did a research. They did not know anything, then they experimented something and they made sure that they get a solution. So this is a research. Research is a systematic process from known to unknown. So we don't know something, then we apply our knowledge and we get to the answer. You think of a problem. Here problem means anything which you don't understand why it is so. So basically when something which you don't know you observe, and then your curious mind should ask you a question, why it is so. So reaching to the solution becomes a research. Let me give you a simple example of boiling of water. We all know now very well how water is boiled and what is the physics behind it. But for a time being, just assume that you don't know the process. So what do? You kept a vessel on the stove, you switched on the gas. After some time what you observe is the water is dancing. And then comes a question, why it is so. Now what you will do is, you just try to experiment something. Now just keep the water out, you keep a wooden block in it and then apply heat. Again you see whether wooden block is dancing, no. Then why so? Here comes the known knowledge of yours. So what you know is the structure of molecules. In water, the molecules are loosely bounded, and that's why what happens is every molecule gets heat at different time. So once molecule gets heat, it comes up, and the molecule which does not have heat, it goes down, and there comes the dancing process. Here what we did is, we had a question, then we experimented, and then we came to a conclusion through what knowledge we had before. So this is a research. Now let us talk about the research in modern world. In today's world, we have come so far in terms of knowledge and the means of research. We know so many things in whichever field you choose. This brings up few problems, and I'll try to explain by giving some examples. First problem, being the researcher, I can think of is people's mindset. You may think, what is wrong with people's mindset? Today's generation is so well educated and they know so many things that there is nothing which they don't know. But when it comes to ground level, they refuse to understand many things. Let me give you one example. Few years back, when ISRO used to plan any mission, people used to ask why this much money is needed. Or some may also criticized by saying that why so much money is wasted when there is so much poverty in our country. This may seem very genuine concern, but when it comes to actual experiment, there needs so many efforts. When these kind of questions are asked, it is very difficult to give answer at that particular moment. Why difficult? Because when scientists plan some mission, they expect some results, but they can't be sure of getting it. So research is nothing but a trial and error process. You think you can expect something, but you can't be sure of it. Second thing is, sometimes it is very necessary to deploy some instruments to have some experiment. But people, they just refuse to understand the practical benefits of it. The institute where I was doing my PhD, the main purpose was just to have magnetometers deployed at different sites, and it used to work 24/7 and used to just monitor the magnetic field of the earth. So now it is very important to monitor the magnetic field. I will not go in details of it, but it is important, believe me. So what happened is, when we try to deploy a magnetometer, we need to find a very calm site. It should be in rural areas mostly, because it should be free from power lines. So when we go to villages, the people don't understand what we are doing. What happened one time is, in Tamil Nadu, we were going and we were deploying our instrument. They just came and told that you are doing something wrong. You are just playing with environment or something. They just think that. Now, after some time, what happened? We deployed our instrument, the instrument started working. Unfortunately, that year, the rain was minimal in that area. Secondly, sometimes people don't understand that some experiments need some instruments to be deployed. Now, what happens is when we go to deploy some instruments, people just think that we are playing with their sites or something. Now, let me give you one more example. The institute where I did my PhD, their main purpose was to deploy magnetometers at different sites. Now, to deploy a magnetometer, we need a very calm site, free from noises, free from power line noises. So, it can be found only in rural areas, in villages, far from cities. So, what happened once we went there to deploy a magnetometer in a village of Tamil Nadu? What happened is people just gathered and they told that you are doing something wrong and this is not good, something you are playing with environment. We tried to explain them that this is nothing wrong. We deployed our instrument and unfortunately that year the rain was minimal in that area. Now what happened is the people gathered and they protested. They protested that because of this instrument there was no rain in our area. So you just remove all these things. So sometimes what happens is it becomes very difficult for scientists to explain very like laymen that this is something not related to what you think. It is something different. So here the problem was lack of knowledge and lack of awareness. Sometimes people also think that if one person or one group or one country is doing some research, then why should we waste our money or why should we waste our time? But here they don't understand the importance of parallel research. Let me give you a very simple and recent example. COVID-19 vaccine. We know that the small virus has caused so much devastation for all the world and we desperately wanted a vaccine to come out. Every single country was trying for it. And there we did not ask the question why we are doing it, because we wanted a solution as soon as possible. Now what happened is every country tried their best and they came up with a vaccine. But still we know that the vaccine is not sufficient till now. The production is not meeting the need. So here we can understand that if we don't do parallel research, then we don't get the solution as soon as possible. Sometimes it is the need of an hour, sometimes it is about the competition. So it is very important for people to understand that parallel research is important. We cannot ask a question if somebody is doing that. If a country is putting up a mission, then we should not do it. No, we should do it. In all these examples, the important point one should understand is one should never be satisfied in terms of research. The research is never-ending process. The second problem one may think is the scarcity of a research problem. At first, it may seem to be true problem, but it is not. Nowadays, I have heard youngsters saying that there is so much explored already that there is nothing new to know. But this is not true. If one understands research properly, then there is so much new to be explored still. Now, let me tell you one thing. We all know about mobile phones. We have seen landlines, then we have also seen cordless. From that we have moved to mobile phones with a big antenna. Then we have moved to QWERTY pads, touch phones and camera, the front camera and whatnot. Day by day newer versions are coming and also the companies are putting more and more efforts to put something new in newer versions. So how this has happened? Is it without research? No. The sole credit of this goes to the research and development team of that particular company. Same about cars. Every now and then the cars are getting improved and improved. From gear to gearless, more efficient, more mileage and whatnot. In everything, what important is that the research is needed to put a newer version. We the buyers, we see what is new, what is comfortable and what is affordable for us. Now let us talk about space. In space, we know that earlier we used to depend on antennas for communication. Then came the satellite communication. Now what has happened is There are so many satellites in space that it is becoming a junk. So our main problem is to reduce this junk. So this is something new now. So whenever we think that there is nothing new, then think again. Everything comes with a new problem. So day by day, there is something more and more to know. The more we know, the more we are pushed towards unknown. So if you thought that there is nothing new to be explored, think again. The last and most important problem is the approach of youth. What happens is today's generation wants everything very easily, very fast, with minimal efforts. This kind of shortcuts, what happens is the students don't understand the basic concept, and then it leads to an unsolved problem. They don't find a solution and they leave the problem in between because they lose interest. So one should understand that the research is not an overnight job. It needs a patience. So if you have a problem, give proper time to it. Sometimes I don't blame only students. The system is such that they want outputs in a certain time limit. Because let us talk about PhD students. They are bound to produce certain amount of papers in their tenure. So what happens is the students start looking for a very easy problem, or a problem which is already solved, which has already a science which is known to us. This is restricting our mind. This is restricting our capacity to innovate something new. However important it is, because the academic has to have some kind of deadlines. But because of such deadlines, we are suppressing the quality of our research. We are not using our minds to its fullest. With my limited knowledge and experience, I want to put forth some easy working solutions for the problems which I had already described. So first, we'll talk about people's mindset. How to fix this? To fix the people mindset, we have to spread awareness as much as possible. We need to transform the facts about the problem, the research. Let us talk about Chandrayaan mission. We all now know that Chandrayaan was a successful mission, and fortunately now nobody talks about the money spent for that mission. We planned Chandrayaan 2 and now we are planning Chandrayaan 3. One may think why these many missions are needed for single object, that is for moon. So we need to know that in Chandrayaan 1 we aimed for the orbiter. So we put an orbiter and we were successful about it. With Chandrayaan 2 mission, we wanted to land a lander, and that too a smooth landing. Unfortunately, we could not achieve that. So now we need to think that what went wrong. We have to work on it. The scientists need to see what went wrong. They have to fix, and how they will fix. They have to plan a next mission. So that's why Chandrayaan 3. So this is how research is going. If we find a solution, we need to move forward. If we don't succeed, then we have to fix what went wrong. Now, again, one more thing is that we need to work on base. Base means children. So we need to transfer all the knowledge we know or we have to the children, so that children can opt research as their career option. Now also I can see that children don't even talk about research as their career. Why? They can think of engineering, they can think of medical, they can think of even becoming astronauts, but they don't think a research in pure sciences. So what we need to do is, we need to tell them why research is so important. So we need to work on the base, that is about the children, and we can spread awareness with so many outreach activities. We should take efforts so that research in pure sciences can be seen as a fruitful career option. The solution to second problem, that is about scarcity of research, is just love what you do and do what you love. Because when we start loving our work, we start looking beyond certain limits. We try to dig out more and more, and then comes the feel of research, because then only we can put our whole soul in our research. Lastly, even if we are bound to certain deadlines and protocols, we should not end up by reproducing similar works. We should learn to steal like an artist. It means that even if we fail to invent something entirely new, we can always take something which has already been found. We can give proper credits, we can refer their work, and take this one step forward by remixing and mashing it up. Nothing in this world is entirely original. Few extra efforts, a little more hard work, patience, and passion. That is what leads us to a successful research. To conclude, I'll just say a researcher is always a student. Keep learning new and new every day.